Let's Talk Lungs with Jill from Lung Saskatchewan, dedicated to connecting you with lung health experts and key opinion leaders who will share current evidence-based lung health information to inspire you and those you care for to take your best breath. This podcast is recorded on Treaty 6 territory, the ancestral and traditional territory of the Cree, Dene, Blackfoot, Saulteaux, Nakota Sioux, as well as the territory of the Métis.
As we breathe in today, we are inspired by Darcy Murdoch, a professional singer, double lung transplant recipient, and passionate lung ambassador. After being diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, often referred to as IPF, and losing his ability to breathe, let alone sing, Darcy received a life-saving double lung transplant in 2015. Today, he's back on stage, breathing life in, sharing his voice, his gratitude, and a powerful message about organ donation, lung health, and second chances. Today on Let's Talk Lungs, a second breath, a stronger voice, a singer's lung transplant journey. Darcy, thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure. Thanks so much for having me, Jill. It's great to be here.
Well, you are quite a remarkable individual, a talented singer. You're also a double lung transplant recipient. You're a lung ambassador with Lung Saskatchewan. You're a health advocate. And over the holiday season, you're a very popular Santa Claus.
Yeah.
In fact, this holiday season, Santa and Bobby Bacchus, that's your performing name, did over 64 shows, which is quite incredible. Did you have to have a nap after that?
Yeah, almost. And that was in 6 weeks too, Jill. So I was pretty busy.
Oh my goodness, that just shows how amazing you are at what you do.
Oh, thank you. But
And-
the whole year I did 270 shows.
Oh my goodness. And we are so lucky to have you on this show today.
Wow. I'm fortunate to be here. Believe me, more than you know.
Wonderful. Well, let's let our listeners get to know you a little bit better. So tell us, before your lung transplant, what role did singing play in your life, both professionally and maybe even personally?
Sure. Well, I was always sang in church, so that's where I think I got the bug for it. And then as I got into elementary school, and I had the lead role in a couple of operettas, I was handpicked by the principal of the school. So he saw some talent in me, and I guess I saw it as well. And then I went into high school, and later on in years, I just always knew that I had the singing knack and the ability to do it. So I actually started out as Elvis with my singing career.
Oh,
back
I
in the,
love Elvis. Who doesn't like Elvis? Little all shook up.
Well, thank you very much. So that's where I really got started my singing chops. And from Elvis, I just jumped into Bobby Bacchus and then Santa and a couple other characters that I have. So I've got about 6 or 7 characters in my little stable of performers. So, and then just as time went on, I knew that I was in the restaurant business for 30 years, and that was pretty grueling. And I just thought, well, I'm going to have plan B to get out of this. So I just started volunteering at seniors' homes and places like that. Then I got better at it, and started charging a few bucks. And then now here I am. I make my full-time living from singing mostly and performing.
Oh, that's incredible. And I know many years ago, you gifted me one of your CDs. It was a Christmas CD. And
Yes.
I listen to it every Christmas. It is not
Aw.
Christmas without you.
Oh, thank
And
you.
so for everybody listening, Darcy is just incredibly talented, and his music just transports you to another place and time. It's pretty magical. So we're so lucky that you share your gift with the world. That must have been quite scary for you when all of a sudden things weren't going as planned and singing became challenging. So tell us, when
Yes.
did you first realize something wasn't right with your lungs, and how did it affect you, your quality of life and your singing?
Sure. Well, I've got a confession to make, Jill. I was a smoker for a number of years, but smoking is not attributed to pulmonary fibrosis. So that's a good thing. However, it is a risk factor. But being a smoker, there's things that carry along with that. And one of them was coughing and shortness of breath. So I didn't really know exactly when I started feeling rough with my IPF, but I know one day I took my laundry down to the laundry room and I came back upstairs and I was bent over at the door, my apartment door, because I couldn't breathe. I'm just like, I'm going, what's going on here? This is like one floor below, maybe 60 or 70 steps, and I'm bent over. So I went to the doctor, and she said, well, we better send you for an X-ray. And I went in for an X-ray, and they determined there that I was going to need a double lung transplant. So, which, shocks you and scares you half to death.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
That's not what you expect to hear. You're
Oh,
hoping they can
not
give
at
you
all.
a few pills and send you on your way, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And so from there, I went to see the lung specialist, and they did determine that I had pulmonary fibrosis. So they asked me a series of questions. Have you been spending any time on a farm, or spending any time with birds or chickens? Because apparently you can pick it up from that. So my answer was no. And this is how ignorant I was, because I was diagnosed on June 1st, 2011. So it's going back 15 years now. And
Wow.
I went to see the specialist, and she said, you're going to need a double lung transplant. I said, what are you talking about? I'm 54 years old. How do I need that? And she says, well, these things happen. And I said, okay, well, listen, I'm really busy with my little business. Is there any chance we can get it done next month or even August? Right. This so Adrian and I was doing. She actually, laughed at me and said, well, unfortunately, that's not how it's done. And little did I know that it would be 3.5 years later that I did get my transplant. So I was on oxygen for close to 3 years and everything that went along with it. And one of the toughest things was all these coughing fits that you had. I'd had probably 8 or 9, 15 to 20-minute coughing fits every day where you just cough, 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 cough. As a matter of fact, I gave myself 2 inguinal hernias from coughing so much,
Oh
just
my
pushing.
goodness.
Yeah, so that was really bad. So those are just some of the kind of things that go along with when you're initially diagnosed. Not only that, but it's the shock and awe of finding out about this. Depression comes in. You think I was single at the time, so I thought that I was gonna die alone in my apartment with nobody around, because all my family, of course, is back in Saskatoon. And so you go through your little pity party for a while. And because I was only 54 and I was in pretty good shape and strong, I thought, I'm going to beat this. I'm going to
Hmm.
turn this around. So I changed my entire way of thinking, and still knew that, anything could happen along the time. But I knew if I changed my attitude, thinking about ways that would benefit me in the future and how to get through this successfully, uh, I changed that around, and then things started really progressing in my favor from there on in.
So you just flipped the switch a little bit and
I
flipped
flipped
your
the
way
switch.
of thinking, hey?
Yeah. Yeah. I've always been a bit of an optimistic person, and I knew somehow in my heart that I was going to beat this. So I just started working out like a fiend, physical exercise like crazy, as much as I could. It dampened my ability to work because I was in the catering business. And of course, all that is picking up and carrying and putting it down and stairs and what have you. It's a very aggressive industry. So I had to stop that after a while and just carry on with doing what I'm supposed to do. Is to just be strong and just do what the doctors tell you to do, and you'll get through it.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
Darcy, for people that maybe don't understand what a lung transplant journey looks like, you had mentioned in the beginning, you said, hey, can we schedule this for next week? But in fact, you had to
Yeah.
wait, or next month rather, but in
Yeah.
fact, you had to wait over 3 years.
Yeah.
Can you tell people what that looks like and what the process looks like?
Sure. Once you're diagnosed, you spend lots of times with the pre-transplant people, where they're testing you all the time and making sure that you're going to be suitable for a transplant. And it's a very, very scary situation to begin with. Like deep down, I was really scared because, you don't know really what the outcome is going to be. But like I said, I've always been an optimistic person. So I kept that belief in me that good things were going to come out of this. And so a lot of it is attitude. A lot of it is your current health. You've got to move. You've got to be strong. You can't just lie and rely on the entire health system. You've got to do your part as well. So it's a long journey. It's a trying journey. It's, like I said, it's very nerve wracking as well. But, you don't know how strong you are until you have to be. Because I thought, oh, what am I going to do here? How am I going to get through this? But then once you change your way of thinking about it to a more positive direction, things started coming my way.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so once you're told, hey, you need a lung transplant, and then you go through a series of tests and they say, yes, you qualify for one. Then you have to wait for a phone call that there's a pair of lungs for you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And that's another story as well, because I was listed on March 1st, 2014. And back in that day, they were giving you a pager that you kept on your side at all times. And then when you went to sleep, you'd put it beside your bed because it could go off anytime. So one day I'm sitting here watching TV and it went off. And I freaked. I must have jumped about 3 feet in the air because, oh my God, what's going on here? So then I found out about an hour later, this is a test to see if your pager's working.
Oh my
Right?
goodness.
So meanwhile, I had to come down from that. But anyway, so I got the call on January 15th, 2015. Sorry, January 30th, 2015. And I had my pager with me, and I was doing, bench press and was trying to be as strong as I can because, I was on the transplant list for 11 and a half months. And that's, you're beginning to get a little bit antsy and you think, okay, what's going to happen? Is this going to happen? So I just I did a workout. I went home and I forgot to put my pager on my bedside table, and I left it on the kitchen table.
Okay.
So about 6 a.m, I hear this rapping, and I'm thinking, what is that? I'm in the middle of a dream or what have you. And then it got louder. Then I realized that it was the door. Somebody was at the door, my apartment door.
Okay.
So, I'm just, half asleep, not knowing what's going on. So I get to the door, and it's my building manager lady. Her name was Laura. And what had happened was I gave BC Transplant Laura's phone number as an emergency contact in case, but I forgot to tell Laura, right? So about, a little before 6 a.m, they're phoning Laura. Hello, we're looking for Darcy. She's going, there's nobody here by that name. That's a wrong number. And so hung up. So they phoned back about 5 minutes later. We're looking for Darcy Murdoch. Do you know Darcy Murdoch? Oh my God, yeah, this is my God. So she came running down the hallway into my door and knocking, standing there with her phone stretched out. She said, Darcy, it's BC Transplant. Do you want to talk to him? Oh my God, jumping around my underwear.
The one night you forgot to put it beside your bed stand is the night that it goes off. Oh my goodness.
That's right.
Well, thank heavens for Laura.
Yeah, I know. And all the while my pager's on my table going zzz, 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 zzz.
So then what happened, Darcy?
Well, I took the phone and I said, hello, and Jill, I got to tell you, I cannot tell you how beautiful this lady's voice was. It was like an angel speaking to me, so calm and cool. And she said, hey, Darcy, how are you? I'm going, well, I don't know right now. And she goes, well, how would you like to get a new set of lungs today? So,
oh my goodness.
Right, that's what I said. And I said, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And she said, okay, well, don't eat anything. Don't eat or drink anything. Brush your teeth, whatever. Come on down here and come to emergency and get checked in. So I said, okay. So I did that. And then the first thing I did was I phoned my mom, because she's looking forward to it. Because she started crying and I started crying. Then once I finished speaking with her, then I had to call my sister, Penny, because she was going to come out to be my caregiver, because you can't have a transplant if you don't have a caregiver. So I phoned Penny and I said, hey, guess what? I just got the news. I'm going in for a transplant. She said, you're kidding. I said, I am not kidding. This is the truth. So get your bag packed and you got to get out here pretty soon. So, and then I drove down to the hospital. I took a cab, and it was the most peaceful feeling that I can remember. It was just so quiet and relaxed. And I just thought, this is life-changing. From here on in, my life is going to be completely different. Wow. So I got down to emergency, and about 4 hours later, I was under the knife. When I got to emergency, the nurses, I'll tell you, I respect nurses so much, and you're a nurse.
Yes, I am a nurse.
Oh, yeah. So, I just love nurses because they're the most amazing people. So there I was in emergency. They took me down to the operating theater area, and they were just talking like we were just chums from high school. so relaxing. And at one time I thought, why am I so relaxed? And I thought maybe did give me something to drink to settle my nerves, and I didn't get a shot. I know that. And they said, no, you're just doing your own thing. Because like I said, being optimistic, I knew something was going to come of this. So they wheeled me into the operating room. And it's like Grey's Anatomy, banks of lights everywhere, computers, people scampering around everywhere. And again, the nurses that were helping me out there, they're chatting me up, just like we're school friends. And one of them said, so what do you do for a living? I said, well, I'm a singer. You're a singer? I said, yeah. She said, what do you sing? I said, well, I sing Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. Oh, my folks love Frank Sinatra. I said, oh, okay, that's nice. Yeah, I think, yeah. She says, would you like to hear some? I said, what are you talking about? Come on, I'm waiting for a lung transplant. What are you doing to me? She said, oh, no. So she went over to her computer, typed in some certain song. You know what song she came up?
What?
Come fly with me. Come fly, let's fly away. The next thing you know, it was amazing. So, and then the next thing you know, the anesthesiologist, she comes in, he's chatting me up, and I said, listen, mister, you better watch my vocal cords, okay? You see, yeah, we'll do our best. And then the next thing you know, it's I'm out. I wake up in the ICU the following morning at 8 a.m. and the rest is history.
Wow.
So going forward with that conversation, I woke up at 8 a.m. They wake you up, and your arms are nicely tied with some fabric so that you're not jumping, and because you're intubated. And they wake you up and they said, hey, look down at me. Hey, how you doing? And of course you can't speak. So, oh yeah, are you okay? So I gave a thumbs up. She goes, good. And then about 5 hours later, they said, okay, we're going to take your breathing tube out. I said, okay. Mm-hmm. And so once they did that, it was like they pulled it out. It was just like a whoosh, just a huge breath of fresh air. And they said, how's it feel to be breathing with your new lungs, Darcy? I said, and I could speak at that time. So amazing. Oh, I can't believe I'm here. This is a dream come true.
Today's Let's Talk Lungs episode is shared in recognition of National Organ and Tissue Donation Awareness Week. For people living with severe lung disease, a lung transplant may be the final and life-saving treatment option. Lung Saskatchewan is proud to offer a virtual lung transplant community of support, providing educational presentations, peer connection, and resources for individuals and families navigating the transplant journey. Lung Saskatchewan also offers resources and financial support programs for individuals and families on a lung transplant journey. To learn more, visit lungsask.ca.
Wow. Okay, so in that moment, you were able to take your own breath.
Yes.
A nice deep breath in and out, and you were able to speak without being short of breath.
Yes.
Tell us what it was like the first time you sang with your new lungs.
Yeah. I was a little bit nervous because I hadn't sang for probably a couple of months. And I was nervous, and I don't know why, because I was speaking and breathing very easily. And I just thought, oh, what's going to happen here if I can't carry a tune? Or something, what am I going to do? So, I got my sound system here. I got it set up, and I just started singing, and it was like, it was like amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, you couldn't shut me up. You need a sheep horn to get me off the stage almost, right? Oh. And I could carry the notes. I could extend notes, Jill, because when I was singing, I was actually singing before I had my transplant, but I couldn't carry the long notes.
No.
I had to shorten it. And then I'd take a break and I'd have to go out to my car and be on oxygen for 10 minutes, and I'd come back in and sing again. But it was just, okay, as soon as I sung that first note, I knew, okay, I'm in. This is working. We're going to go places.
And you have gone places, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's such an incredible story, Darcy. Wow, that sounds like something you'd read in a book or see in a movie.
Yeah, maybe.
And now you're here sharing your story with everyone, and how remarkable this journey is, and how many people supported you and how many people were involved in your journey.
Exactly.
Incredible. So thank you to everyone that allowed you to be here today. You know, on this show is called Let's Talk Lungs. We've only had people talk about lungs. We've never had someone sing on the podcast before.
Oh.
But being the singer that you are, and we were wondering, would you be willing to give us a gift of song and sing for us today on the show?
I could probably do that. Yeah.
Okay. We'll give it a go.
Sure.
Okay.
Did you have anything in mind? Do you want me to sing? Or?
Oh, I love the song It Had to Be You. What do you think?
Really?
Could you do that one for me and dedicate it to myself and the folks at Lung Sask?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great song. It's 102 years old, that song. Did you know that?
Oh, so it's new.
It's new. No, yeah, it's new. All right. Okay, do you want me to start now?
I'd love that.
It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found the somebody who couldn't make me be true, couldn't make me be blue, and even be glad just to be sad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen, might never be me, might never be cross or try to be boss, but they wouldn't do. For nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found the somebody who couldn't make me be true, couldn't make me be blue, and even be glad just to be sad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen, might never be me, might never be cross or try to be boss, but they wouldn't do. For nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you.
There you go.
This is incredible. Okay, T-Bone, who is our sound engineer here, and he is giving you a standing O. That was amazing.
Thanks,
oh my goodness. Thank you, Darcy. You are so talented, and you just have this amazing gift of allowing people, no matter where they are, including in a recording studio, on a podcast, getting lost in your song and in your music. Oh my goodness, you are amazing.
It really does take you away. It takes me away even when I'm singing it.
Right?
Thank you so much. And stop with all the compliments, okay? My head's going to be swollen.
That was just incredible. Thank you so much. You are so full of joy, so full of life and gratitude. And you know, you speak very openly about how lucky you are to be here. And having a lung transplant in the movies, right? You have the surgery, you wake up, and that's it. But as you know, having a lung transplant comes with a lot of responsibility. So, what does staying well look like for you today so you can continue to sing and live life well?
Actually, the most important thing in my life is physical exercise. Because as you age, of course, your body slows down. And because of the medication I'm on, some of them, weakens you in areas of your body that you need to take care of, such as like prednisone. It's really good. It's an amazing drug, but it also beats you up a little bit. So my big focus is to stay as strong as I can physically, as strong as I can emotionally. And with that, the music is a good part of that. And, all they want you to do is just take your medication when you're supposed to, drink lots of water, some physical movement. That doesn't mean you have to be going crazy with your exercise. I average about 20 times a month that I call it exercise. But it's also movement. You have to move your body. So I do lots of walks. I've got a gym at home. So I work out with weights, and I've got a treadmill, and I've got a rowing machine. So I never have to go into a gym because they're they're full of germs, which is not really a safe place for somebody who has a weakened immune system. But for me, it's attitude, it's keeping your body strong and trying to be as optimistic as you possibly can. And it's not that easy all the time, but if you make a concerted effort, it does get easier.
Yeah, you talk about the mental, the physical,
Yeah.
movement and exercise being medicine. One could argue music is also medicine too, right?
Absolutely.
Lifts us
so
up.
therapeutic. So therapeutic.
Oh,
Yeah.
incredible.
Darcy Murdoch has created the crooner Bobby Bacchus. Bobby's interpretations of jazz standards are always in the pocket, and his soft melodic voice, quick wit, and endearing charm make him a highly sought-after entertainer. To find out more or to book Darcy for an event, visit murdochproductions.com.
Whenever anyone sees you, speaks to you, no one would know what you've been through. It's just incredible. So with that, having gone through the transplant, having been post-transplant for many years now, what would you say surprised you the most, or what do you think might surprise other people the most about a lung transplant?
Well, first off, it's the amazing care you get from the doctors and the nurses and everybody in the whole medical team. It's just, they are so dedicated to making sure that you get through your ordeal successfully. And also it's just keeping a good attitude, and things do get better. They do get better. It took me about 2.5 years post-transplant for me to start feeling better and somewhat normal. And now, to be honest, Jill, it doesn't even feel like anything happened.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Well, it does get better.
It does get better. Do you think that's your advice to someone that's on the journey right now, right in the thick of it, whether they're a patient or a caregiver, that it does get better?
Absolutely. And I'll say this, that, this is my story. Everybody's different. They have a different biology. So everybody's different what they go through. But if you do what you're supposed to do, and I know it's difficult to keep a positive attitude a lot of times. I went through some dark times as well. But if you can rise above that and just stay strong, because when you go in for your lung surgery, it's a major, serious operation. They're cracking your chest open to put in your new lungs. That's just the way it is. So they can take time after that to heal. But I just tried to stay I worked out 400 times in 2 years.
Oh my.
Yeah. And when
Wow.
when I say worked out, it just means, I go for a 5,000 step walk, or I'd get on my treadmill, or I would do some light weights or whatever.
That's
just to be strong.
inspiring.
Yeah, because when you go in, you're getting your butt kicked with this.
Yeah.
And then afterward, what's followed is can be difficult as well. Well, it is difficult.
Yeah.
But if you just try and rise above it, like I say, everybody's different. It'll become easier. It will.
Wow.
And even my doctors say, because I had a little bit of rejection. I've had a few things along the way: pneumonia, bacterial infections. I had COVID, things like that. But I never had any serious rejection. And rejection is one of the downfalls of any transplant. So I go into my clinics every 4 months, And the doctor said, you know, you're going to live a long time because you do what you're supposed to do, and you've never had any big bouts of rejection that can cause harm to your lungs. So I said, okay, I'll take that. But I still keep doing what I'm supposed to do. And not only that, the exercise makes me feel good, makes me look good. And, you know, if I'm going to be on stage, I want to have a nice appearance, and I don't want to be slovenly and what have you. So it's just all part of the process afterwards. Because even going up to your transplant is difficult. And after your transplant is difficult for a while. So, but it does get better. It does get better.
It does get better. And, you know, I'm sure this time when you went and saw your doctor and he said, you know, you're going to live a long time, that's a much nicer message than you need a lung transplant.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right? What a difference.
Indeed.
Years later, hey?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Darcy, not too long ago, I saw you on the news talking with multiple media outlets, and you are a very strong advocate for lung health and organ donation.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that and
Sure.
why you choose to be an advocate in that space?
Sure. Well, I knew as soon as I had my transplant, Jill, I gave myself a personal vow that I would go out of my way to help anybody that's going through what I went through. Doesn't matter with COPD or IPF or scleroderma or what have you, that I was going to make an impact in the lung world by being involved. So I would do things, I currently do things with BZ transplant. I go all over the place and I speak to groups, or I'm involved with places where we're promoting organ registration and tissue awareness and things like that. And I just thought, I'm going to give back, because it's amazing what I went through, and with the help of the doctors again and the nurses and what have you, here I am living, and I can have a second chance at life. So I make sure I'm a huge advocate for the lung world, and any kind of transplant, really. You know, I've met people with kidneys and islets and hearts and lungs and everybody in the whole spectrum. And everybody comes together. It's almost like a family when you're close like that, when you've been through a tragedy that, I wouldn't say a tragedy, I'd say, you know, been something that, you know, potentially life-threatening. Because when it comes down to it, getting a transplant is bittersweet. It's wonderful for you being the recipient, so you can have a second chance at life. But also I think about my donor family, who I have so much respect and love for, because that individual and their family gave their life for people to carry on living. It's the most selfless thing anyone could do. So I'm grateful every day for my organ donor family. And I'm tipping my hat of respect for these people for what they do and what they did, so that somebody else can lead a full and thriving life. Yeah.
And because of that gift, you're able to breathe well today, share your voice with us today, share your music with us today. Just incredible. So, thank you to those people that made that decision years ago.
Well, yeah, I know. So
Wonderful.
That's why I do whatever I can to help out with the cause.
Yeah.
And I've actually slowed down a little bit as well, because I'm sort of opening the door for other people, because there's a lot of people in the community now with Facebook. When I was going through what I had, there wasn't a Facebook page for lung transplant survivors or recipients or what have you. So now there is. So
yeah, I know, Darcy, you have been quite instrumental in supporting people through even Lung Saskatchewan's online community of support group that are currently waiting for a lung transplant or starting the journey. You have been so instrumental in sharing your story, what you went through, and giving people hope. So I thank you for that.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It's the least I can do for where I am now. Because like I said, it doesn't even feel like anything happened. My life is so normal. It's crazy.
So what would you say a second breath, a second chance has meant for you?
It's allowed me to pursue my craft, which is music, which, you know, I lead a fairly productive life in that area, and, you know, I make a living from it, so I'm not suffering. But also just the ability to be able to do what I want, considering 15 years ago it was up and down what was going to happen to me, and to just carry on and respect. I have the utmost of respect again for the donor family and all the people in the health industry. So it's just a show of respect to carry on that flame, so to speak.
We're so grateful that you joined our Lung Saskatchewan online community of support, because you are a wealth of knowledge. And Darcy, from our conversation today, I just have to say, your story is beautiful. Your voice is beautiful. You as an individual are beautiful. And you, my friend, are absolutely remarkable. And this has meant so much to myself and Lung Saskatchewan and everyone listening. Thank you for sharing your story, your courage, your talent with us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My absolute pleasure. I appreciate you reaching out to me and asking me if I'd be a part of this. And how could I ever say no with you?
Well, it had to be you, Darcy. It had to be you.
Very good, Jill. Very good. Oh, this is so much fun. Hey, everybody out there, just, believe and stay as optimistic as you can, and try and exercise and move as much as you can within your limits, whether it's chair yoga or a little walk or something like that, little weights or what have you. Stay as strong as you can in your body and your mind. Lots of love.
Today on Let's Talk Lungs, Darcy Murdoch shared his deeply personal lung transplant journey with us. The gift of a second breath didn't just save his life, it gave him a stronger voice. A voice that inspires through music, advocacy, and hope. Now celebrating 11 years with his new lungs, Darcy reminds us just how vital organ and tissue donation truly is.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support Lung Sask's Let's Talk Lungs podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for new episodes, and leave us a review. Follow Lung Sask on Instagram @LungSask and on X @LungSask. That's all for this episode. See you next time. Produced at Sound Lounge by T-Bone.